Greetings, Metropolitan Peace Initiatives. My name is Ryan Mack, and today we're going to have a very exciting discussion about it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. I'm so excited to have this discussion because this is the foundation for all of the upcoming workshops. Everything financial starts with the mind. And today we're going to talk about how to have a wealthy mindset and how to develop that mindset. So the question is, do you have a wealthy mindset? And of course, before we get going, I just want to let you know whether or not you are enrolled in the course, you can still have access to me. Send us a text, send us an email. We'll send you the information at the end of this to say, hey, listen, I haven't taken the class yet, but I still have some questions. Again, whether or not you're enrolled in the course, you can still have access to regular office hours and get your financial questions answered. And if you have any questions about any of the content, please send an email, send a text, set up a time for office hours. We'd definitely like to get connected with you so we can see exactly what specific financial questions you have. So let's get going about it's all in the mind. Today, we're going to address the purpose of money, outline healthy wealth building discussions, perspectives, address negative wealth building emotions, and describe financial predator strategies. I'm telling you, these financial predators are out here. They are trying to go after you and get into your pocket. We want to make sure they don't do that. And it's a mental game that they're playing out here. I want you to check that out, especially I get excited when we start talking about those who are trying to scam you. We're going to define the money mindset. We're going to define prosperity. We're going to explain the power of positive thinking and what exactly that is. You know, I remember there was a woman. This woman was a single mother, and she had 2 kids, didn't have a whole lot of money, and she was actually living on welfare at one point. And those 2 kids were her life. It was everything. She would wake up in the morning, go to sleep, and that was everything that she thought about was her children. Again, she didn't have a whole lot of money, so what she would do was, even though on welfare, she would go and window shop in the rich part of town. And then she would go and buy the things that she saw in the window at the thrift store and the resale shop. The reason that she did that, because she had the mindset, the money mindset. And when she went to work, she was one of the best dressed person that people at her job. Because why? She was buying $300, $400, $500 outfits for $5 and $10 at the resale shop, because she wanted to look nice and dress nice and show up for the occasion. That even though she didn't have a lot of money, her mindset was always wealthy. And even though she was on welfare, she might have been broke, but she was not poor. Poor is a disabling frame of mind. Poor is a psychological condition. Broke is a state of being. So she didn't have a lot of money at the time, but she was not poor because she had a wealthy mindset. So we want to encourage you just to start off, have a wealthy mindset like that woman. Whatever happened to that woman? Well, that woman, she eventually moved on. She eventually started to save up, bought her own home, moved out of the neighborhood where they had lived. And eventually she was able to buy enough money to send one of her children to school. The other child got a scholarship. And those children are doing pretty well. As a matter of fact, that's my mother. Yeah, that's it. But that was my mother I'm telling that story of. And I'll tell you, my mother was the best financial planner I've ever known. Even though we had to eat that cheese that didn't melt in the oven and the welfare cheese. And I'll tell you, it made some good omelets though, didn't it? It made some really good omelets. And we had to make, we didn't have Tony the Tiger in our house. All we had was the box of cornflakes and with black letters on the white box. That's what they gave us when we got the food. So we had to go to those food pantry lines. I remember those days well. But I'll tell you what, my mother's mindset always impacted me, especially years later when she told us all the things that she was able to shield us from in the process of having a wealthy mindset. So I want you to ask this question to yourself. Why is it important for you to save money? Because she knew her why. My mother's why was her 2 children. What is your why for saving money? Why do you want to save money? What's your purpose? I'm going to talk about position versus mission. Position versus mission is a very important concept, because essentially the position is if after you found your why, a lot of individuals always ask for the position. They want to be a CEO, or they want to be a homeowner, or let's just say they want to be married. Let's use that example for a second, because that's the position, the title of marriage It's very easy to get married. It's easy to get married, right? Anybody can get married. Anybody on this call, listening to the sound of my voice, I can get married to easily, quickly. Go to the Justice of Peace, pay your licensing fee, have a witness, bang, you're married. We can achieve the position of being married. But the mission of staying married, that's a whole different thing. It's easy to get married, but it's not easy to stay married, is it? I've got to ask all you folks out there that are listening, for those who are married, you know, it's challenging to make. It's a lot of work that goes into relationships. Well, that's the difference between position and mission. Position is the title of marriage. The mission is the work that goes into staying married. And that's a financial concept. The position of owning a home. Anybody can be a homeowner, but maintaining a home and keeping a home and make sure you don't go into foreclosure. That's the mission. And stay and make sure you keep that mortgage. It's easy. It was easy, not as easy as it used to be. Before 2007, they were handing out mortgages like candy. Anybody could sign up and get a mortgage. It was easy to become a homeowner position, but as we saw from the foreclosures after 2007 and 8, when the housing market crashed, it was hard to keep a home. That's the mission. We want you to focus on the mission. So don't ask for the position if you aren't prepared to do the mission. Don't ask to say, I want to be retired if you're not willing to do the work to get to be retired. Don't ask to buy a new home if you're not willing to do the work to save and build your credit to get it home. I've already talked to a few of you, and we're helping individuals put together housing budgets. If you have a housing budget or something you'd like to do, please send a text, send an email, set up a meeting, make sure we get that going right away. The position versus the mission, very powerful concept. We're going to talk about the importance of contentment. Oh, contentment is a very powerful word. I want you to write these words down. For all these words and principles, let's go back here for a second. Write down position versus mission as you're going through this entire deck, and write down these terms and words and go back and reflect on them and say, what is my mission in life? What is, am I asking for anything I'm not willing to do the work for? Like that new home, like that retirement, like that new business you want to start. Am I really putting in the work to make sure I'm married to the mission and not just the position? So write down position versus mission. Write down contentment. Contentment means I'm not happy with my state. I'm happy in my state. My mother taught me about contentment, about how to be content. She showed me what contentment was because we didn't know that we were broke. Didn't know it. We were always happy. She was always smiling. Now, later on, she told me that she did have some sad days, but overall, we were pretty happy. And how could she smile in the midst of all those storms and wealth storms going around? Well, I'll tell you this much, because the storms will always go away through the hard work that she was willing to put in, that she knew that the storm was going to pass. And as the song goes, ain't no need to worry what tonight's going to bring. It'll be all over in the morning, because she was going to work for it. So that's why she was smiling. She wasn't smiling based upon what she saw in front of her. She's smiling based upon what she knew. And that's a wealth building mindset. So regardless of what your situation is, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of all the things that's happening in your life that's around you, that's trying to say you should be negative, I want you to develop a wealthy, positive mindset, because we know with hard work, and we're going to help you with that work, to go to do some positive things into your life. That's what contentment means. It does not mean I'm happy to be broke. It means despite the fact that I'm broke, I can still smile, because I know that tomorrow a better, brighter day is going to come. I'm going to work for it. Let us help you work for it. I want you to write down that word contentment. I want you to write down facts versus truth. Very important, powerful concept. Facts are the things that you can see, scientifically proven. Truth is what you know. Right? There's facts, there's truth. Facts are what you see. Truth is what you know. I had a friend of mine who was diagnosed with terminal cancer. The doctor gave her 6 weeks to live, even offered to say, why don't you go in hospice? Make sure you're comfortable. Cancer of the throat. And guess what? She said, you know what? I know that factually you're correct. And factually, no, most people who have this illness and at the stage that I'm at do not live beyond the 6 weeks. Well, she said, I'm going to believe in my truth, that I will be healed. And I'm going to stand on this truth. I'm going to make sure that give me the chemo, do whatever I can. I know I deny hospice. I want to fight this. And every single day, she decided to believe the truth over her facts. And at 6 weeks, turned into 6 months, turned into 6 years, and where she still to this day goes around talking about how she defeated terminal cancer. The truth, she believed in it so much that it began to shape her facts of life. What she knew shaped and changed what she saw. That is a financial principle. That's a financial principle, because you might look at your bank account and see that you only have a couple of bucks in there, and maybe you might even have some negative dollars in there. Well, guess what? What you see can be changed by what you know. You know you have the capability to earn a lot more than what you see. So just like she did, believe in your truth. In your truth, we say, you know what? I don't have a lot of money today, but I can work. I can budget. I can build my credit. I can start to pay down my debt and eliminate some of these bills coming in. I can do all. When you believe in your truth so much, your habits will start to change and to align with where you're going and what you know you have the potential to do. And your truth will change your facts. Conversely, if you only believe in the facts, if you believe that your bank account is $0, is a true reflection of who you really are. If you believe that you don't have the capability to earn more than what your bank account says you have, then you're going to stop saving. You're going to stop having goals. You're going to stop striving for more, and your bank account's going to just sit right there. If you believe the facts over your truth, the facts will reign, and all you see is all you will ever have. If you believe the truth over your facts, the truth will reign, and all you know will come to fruition. Let us help you, support you on this journey in believing your truth over your facts of life. Provisions for abundance, preparing for your financial destination, not your current financial situation. I had a trip one time where I was going to do a mission trip to South Africa. I packed my clothes based on where I was going. I looked at the weather. The weather in South Africa was chilly in August. It's their wintertime. The weather in New York was hot. I packed my clothes based on where I was headed. I didn't look around my current situation and say, I'm going to pack only what I see around me, because I know I have a destination in mind, so I need to prepare and pack my bags accordingly. This is a financial wealth building principle. This is a mental principle that you start to prepare yourself. No, you don't have a home or own a home right now, but you start researching what type of homes you like to buy. No, you might not be ready to retire, but you're going to start researching things like an IRA or Roth IRA, traditional Roth. Your child is not in college yet. You might not even have children. You say, you know, one day I'm going to have children. Let me start doing research on different types of educational savings accounts for my children, because you're preparing yourself financially for where you're headed, not for where you're at. That's a wealth building principle that requires, I want you to write down provisions for abundance. Write down the word faith. Faith is the most important principle within any financial plan. Faith is half belief and half action. You must have both in order to have faith. You have to believe you're going to buy that home, and you're going to believe it's going to come true for you. You're going to have the mortgage you're going to have a home of your own. You'll be paying on a mortgage over rent. But you also have the action. The action comes in repairing your credit, paying down your debt, building up your savings, doing research on various areas that you'd like to live. All these things and more believe that you have faith. You have to have both. You can't just do the work and not believe it's going to come true. We need you to stay positive. We need you to have a positive mindset, a positive belief system, and then do the actions that coordinate with your faith system. So we want you to shake off all these negative emotions. Shake off the guilt. Whatever happened in the past, leave it there. Shake off the shame. Don't be too hard on yourself because of where you aren't where you want to be today. Be proud of yourself for making a decision to create a better financial picture for tomorrow. Shake off the worry. We're not packing any of these things. Worry does not accomplish anything but ulcers. We're not packing anything on our trip of financial independence. We're not putting those in our bag. This, where you're going, none of these things apply to you. So shake off those things as best you can. I got to tell you, a lot of these things resonate with me. Like Shane, I'm very hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself. And sometimes I need to shake those things off. So trust me, I'm on this journey here with you. I'm on it with you. Shake off the fear. Be more afraid of what can happen if you don't decide to organize your financial house. Shake off the impatience. The delayed gratification is a necessary skill. Shake off the greed. Never bite off more than you can chew, because these financial predators are out here. They're out here trying to make sure they can get into your pocketbook. The lotto system, $70 billion a year industry, preying upon your lack of faith. There's many individuals who want to buy those scratch-off tickets, and they get addicted to them, or they put the money in gambling. They put their money in because they have more faith in luck than what God has put inside of them to be successful. We want you to understand that that is a scheme designed to prey upon your lack of faith. The check cashing, rent-to-owns, payday loans, refund anticipation loans, collectively, even with prepaid debit cards and the pawn shop, alternative financial services, that's an additional $320 billion revenue industry. The check cashing is preying on your lack of knowledge that you can go get a free bank account. Let us help you do that. If you don't have one, let us help you open up your own bank account. The rent-to-own stores is preying upon your lack of patience. We just talked about delayed gratification is an important skill. Payday loans, they're preying upon your lack of preparation. They don't want you to budget. They don't want you to try to make sure that you can save up your money and put together a budget so that you're not, they want you to get trapped into that 200 to 300% interest rate cycle, creating a perpetual underclass of society. They don't want you to pay that loan back. They want to trap you. The refund anticipation loan, they don't want you to learn about the things like electronic deposit, getting your tax return. All these things and more are preying upon your lack of knowledge and patience and a whole lot of things. Listen, the sharks are in the water. They're out here to get you. We're here to help you navigate these obstacles to make sure you don't fall victim to any of these things on this page and any else other scam that's out there. The wealth mindset. We want you to understand that life does not happen for you. Metropolitan Peace Initiatives family, life does not just happen for you. You can create life. It's in your hands. We want you to understand that you are not smaller than your problems. You are larger than your problems. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. We want you now focusing on obstacles versus opportunities. For those who don't believe it will work, that financial problems that will be solved, for those that don't believe that financial independence are for them, they're only going to focus on obstacles. But those who believe that they have an ability to be financially independent and to build savings and to retire successfully and to buy that home, send their kids to school, take trips and vacation, they're going to focus on opportunities. So write down what you want, envision your future, affirm your desires, listen to your inner voice, take action to transform, hold the vision. You are in control. So no more waiting on the ship. We're going to swim out to it. Don't give me that life gives you lemons, make lemonade. No, if life gives you lemons, throw them suckers back and go get what you want out of life. Don't tell me that you got to deal with the hand, the hand that's been dealt to you. No, you're going to save and buy your own deck and do what you need to do with your life. This is the wealth building mindset. Because we've been taught for too long that we can only eat from the tree and that we can only consume. But we know that we have to teach ourselves that we can be like the tree. We can emulate what that tree is doing. We can be just like that tree because we don't always have to consume. We can also produce. It's a difference between buying Nike shoes versus Nike stock. It's a difference between eating at McDonald's and buying McDonald's stock. It's a difference between surfing on Google or Yahoo and buying Google or Yahoo stock. We even have classes on how to go about buying stocks. But definitely, you got to enroll in the course to get that class. I'm excited to give it. If you have any questions about that, please let us know. But you can be just like the tree. You don't only have to eat from the tree. And what does prosperity really mean? Prosperity, a lot of people say that the prosperity doctrine it's got a negative connotation, but it only means a certain level desired in life. Let me tell you, when my mother was on welfare, she was prosperous because there's different ways to be prosperous. Spiritual prosperity, physical prosperity, mental prosperity, social prosperity. Spiritual means values that you hold dear. We were very spiritually prosperous in our household. We went to church, we were smiling, we were happy, we were in tune with ourselves and family. Physical prosperity, we were pretty healthy growing up as well. Pretty healthy. Good health is good wealth. We've got mental prosperity, the topic of this conversation today. My mother was very strong mentally. And then social prosperity, supporting those in your community. You all do that at MPI. I'll tell you what, you all have some of the best work that I've ever seen of any organization. You're out there in the streets, you're stopping violence, you're advocating for victims, you're doing all those necessary things to build a better community. If you don't exemplify the definition of social prosperity, I don't know who else does. Okay? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you all are doing. And you all have that. So the only thing my mother didn't have back then was financial prosperity. But that's only 1 out of 5. She had 4 of the 5 ways on this page to be prosperous. And she was very prosperous. She learned the financial prosperity eventually. That's how she was able to buy her own home, because she saved up and had a strong mental mindset. Well, look at the root word. The Latin root word of capital means head. C-A-P-I-T is head. It doesn't mean money. A lot of people think capital, the root of the word, is about your head. It's about what's going on up here. Because all the things that you think will become the words you speak. All the words you speak will become the actions you start to take every day. The actions you take every day will form your habits. The habits that you start to form will develop the foundation of your character, and your character will eventually become your destiny. So if you want to change where you go, you have to first change how you think. What originates in your head will determine where you go. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. So that's the questions that we have today. Listen, I'm telling you, I'll say this and I'll say it again. You do not have to be enrolled in the course. You have access to these classes. The live sessions, I got to tell you, they're a whole lot more fun because we get to engage. People ask questions. We do exercises, and we just come together as a community. They're a whole lot more fun, but we're glad you took some time to sit down and watch this video. But whether or not you're in the class, please ask questions. We know you've got questions. We know you want to have that you can get solutions. We've got tons of referrals and resources that I've been providing. We've got in office hours, you have access to these office hours in MPI. So please, every Friday, half-hour office hours, schedule it as many as you need. We're putting budgets together. We're doing debt overview. We're negotiating with individuals and helping get their debt bill lowered. We've already helped individuals cut and change budget deficits into surpluses. So please be a part of this internal movement so we can support the great work you're doing out there in the street. And with that, I just want to say, have a strong wealth building mindset, and I'll see you at the next course. Peace.